afternoon. My name is Jose Gutierrez, as everybody knows. I'm going to talk about, well, first of all, who knows of somebody who has been in prison for 27 years and has become a president of a nation?
Never.
Well, I'm only informed about Nelson Mandela and his life. He became a president after spending 27 years in prison in South Africa. Despite all the odds, Nelson had accomplished great things. So today I'm going to inform you guys about a little bit about Nelson's history, Nelson's influence in the global politics or the world, and Nelson's impact on and accomplishments in Africa and the world. So let's talk about Nelson's history. He was born in 1918 in a small village of South Africa. He was an anti-apartheid activist. That means apartheid means that between 1948 and 1994, apartheid was the legal racial segregation in South Africa. It was like what Martin Luther King and his people live here in the United States. He was the leader of the ANC, which is the left-wing party in South Africa. He was a defender of the South Africa unjust, unfair or treatment from the government. He was arrested in 1962 for sabotage, which wasn't true, and other charges which weren't true as well. They sentenced him to life in prison, but because of his writings and his speeches about peace, he put a lot of pressure on the government at the time, and they released him in 1994, which wasn't a long time ago. He was elected in 1994 to be a president of South Africa in the first democratic elections. He was the first black president in South Africa. So let me talk about Nelson's influence on politics. He was one of the greatest influences in bringing peace to the world and to show all the people that blacks and whites can live together. His speeches and writing about democracy became well known by the world. His release became the focus for the international apartheid movement, which took place in South Africa. His accomplishment in Africa and in South Africa and the world. He has won more than 250 awards, including the Nobel Prize in 1993. He was the first black president in the first democratic elections in South Africa. He had helped abolish the apartheid movement, which I just told you about it, and bring the country to democracy. He brought peace and the right to vote to black majority in South Africa. He was, well, in conclusion, he's one of the most influential people in the world for bringing peace to a nation. And let me give you a quote from him. For to be free is not merely cast off one's chains, but to live in a way that respects and enhances the freedom of others.